Hey, it's Chris. Imagine if you could download the minds of the world's richest people directly into your brain. Well, that's basically what I did by reading 50 books recommended by billionaires. And the lessons I learned completely changed how I think about success, money, and life. First off, what shocked me the most wasn't some fancy financial tip or business secret. It was a simple mindset shift that billionaires swear by. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, they all pointed to one book as life-changing. Can you guess what it was? Surprisingly, it wasn't a flashy new self-help book, but a classic written nearly a century ago, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Now, you might wonder, what's so special about a book on human relationships? Well, billionaires emphasize repeatedly that your ability to handle people effectively and build genuine connections is often more valuable than your skills or intelligence alone. But here's the twist. There's one secret from this book that billionaires use every day, and I'll reveal it in just a moment. Another massive lesson came from Elon Musk's favorite sci-fi novel, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Sounds strange, right? Why would Musk, a billionaire entrepreneur, recommend a quirky sci-fi comedy? Because hidden within its humor and absurdity lies an incredibly powerful message about embracing uncertainty and taking calculated risks. Musk often points out that the road to wealth and success isn't predictable. In fact, it's often chaotic. Billionaires understand that comfort zones are your worst enemy, and learning to embrace unpredictability can make the difference between extraordinary success and just getting by. But here's the question. How exactly do billionaires like Musk practically apply this idea? Hold tight because I'll get to that very soon. Next up, one of Jeff Bezos' all-time favorite books is Built to Last by Jim Collins. Bezos built Amazon into an empire not by chasing trends, but by thinking long-term. This book teaches the critical importance of creating something sustainable, rather than merely profitable in the short term. Bezos calls it thinking decades ahead, and surprisingly, it's less about predicting the future and more about deeply understanding timeless principles of value creation. But how exactly can we, in our own lives, begin to think in terms of decades rather than months or years? I'll unpack exactly how Bezos implements this strategy later, so stay with me. Now here's a surprising recommendation. Oprah Winfrey highly praises The Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukav. Billionaires reading spiritual and philosophical texts might seem odd, but here's why Oprah emphasizes this book: authenticity and intention. Billionaires like Oprah understand that your intentions behind every decision, every deal, and every interaction significantly influence the outcomes you achieve. But how exactly does intention practically impact success? And can adopting Oprah's approach genuinely change your life trajectory? Trust me, the answers coming next will genuinely surprise you. Here's another eye-opener. Mark Zuckerberg and Warren Buffett both swear by the book Poor Charlie's Almanac by Charlie Munger. If you've never heard of Charlie Munger, he's Warren Buffett's longtime business partner. This book essentially breaks down how billionaires think. What stood out to me most was something called the mental models concept. Imagine having clear, structured ways of thinking about problems, opportunities, and risks, which you can reliably apply every single time. Billionaires don't succeed by luck. They succeed by using mental models to make consistently better decisions. But the big question is, how can you practically adopt these mental models into your daily life? Don't worry, I'll share a simple, powerful way shortly. Now, this next book is one of Bill Gates' favorites, Factfulness by Hans Rosling. Gates emphasizes this book because billionaires know the importance of seeing the world clearly, without biases. The book highlights that most people dramatically misunderstand global trends, often being too pessimistic or optimistic. Gates's core lesson is that real success comes from deeply understanding reality, not guessing or hoping. But how exactly does clear, unbiased thinking translate to becoming successful or even wealthy? There's a crucial insight here, and it directly impacts your chances of success. Finally, Ray Dalio, billionaire investor and author of Principles, emphasizes a simple yet life-changing idea: radical transparency. Dalio suggests that the truth, even when uncomfortable, provides the clearest path to genuine improvement and success. But how does radical transparency practically work in real-life situations, especially when facing criticism or tough decisions? The answers to all these questions can dramatically change your trajectory. Stay tuned, because I'm about to reveal the powerful practical takeaways these billionaire recommended books taught me, and how you can start using them to change your life too. One of the biggest practical insights from these billionaire recommended books is that genuine success often hinges on mastering human psychology. Remember Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People? The secret billionaires constantly use from this book is simple yet profound, genuinely making others feel valued. It sounds almost too easy, right? But think about it. How do you respond when someone authentically appreciates you? You're naturally drawn to them. Warren Buffett himself says his entire fortune can be traced back to mastering the art of dealing with people. But here's how you can implement this secret right now. Start conversations by listening intently, offering sincere praise, and focusing on making the other person feel important. You'll be amazed by how quickly your relationships and opportunities transform. Now, back to Elon Musk's embrace of uncertainty from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Musk applies this by repeatedly stepping into the unknown, whether launching rockets or electric vehicles. But how can you practically embrace uncertainty? The key billionaire takeaway here is reframing fear as a positive signal. Fear often means you're about to do something genuinely important. So next time you hesitate about taking a risk, ask yourself, could this discomfort be a sign I'm exactly where I need to be? Billionaires consistently lean into discomfort, and their results speak for themselves. Jeff Bezos' strategy of thinking decades ahead, inspired by Built to Last, can feel intimidating. How do you plan that far ahead? Here's the billionaire secret. It's not about detailed predictions. Instead, focus on timeless fundamentals that don't change. Things like customer satisfaction, integrity, or quality. No matter the technology or economy, these values always matter. Ask yourself, what foundational value can I build upon today that will still matter decades from now? It instantly clarifies your focus and decision-making. Oprah's emphasis on intention from the seat of the soul deeply affects her success. Billionaires like Oprah insist that behind every significant achievement, there's a clear, authentic intention. Practically, you can harness this power by clarifying your genuine purpose behind any goal. Don't just aim for money or recognition. Dig deeper. What's the meaningful intention driving your ambitions? Maybe it's to improve lives, create something groundbreaking, or leave a lasting impact. Once your intention aligns with a deeper purpose, your decisions become clearer. Your motivation intensifies and your outcomes dramatically improve. Charlie Munger's Poor Charlie's Almanac introduces mental models, structured ways of thinking about problems. Billionaires rely heavily on this because consistent success isn't accidental, it's systematic. Here's a powerful mental model you can immediately adopt: inversion. Instead of asking, how can I succeed? Ask yourself, what would make me fail? Then avoid those pitfalls. This simple reversal clarifies decision-making, highlights risks clearly, and helps you make better choices. The impact can be immediate and profound. Bill Gates emphasizes clear thinking from factfulness, stating billionaires thrive on unbiased clarity. Practically, this means challenging your assumptions regularly. Whenever you find yourself strongly convinced about something, pause and ask, what evidence might prove me wrong? By actively seeking contradictions, you keep your thinking sharp, unbiased, and realistic. Exactly how billionaires make superior decisions consistently. Lastly, Ray Dalio's radical transparency from principles dramatically improves relationships and productivity. Practically, it means openly sharing your true thoughts, even when uncomfortable, and inviting honest feedback. It's initially difficult, but here's the twist. Openness builds deep trust, rapidly accelerates personal growth, and ensures continuous improvement. Next time you're tempted to hide discomforting truths, ask yourself, could transparency lead to genuine improvement? Billionaires swear by this, and results quickly follow. In reading these 50 billionaire recommended books, the overarching lesson was clear. Success isn't random. It's deeply rooted in psychology, strategy, and disciplined thinking. By mastering human relationships, embracing uncertainty, focusing on timeless fundamentals, clarifying your intentions, employing mental models, thinking clearly, and practicing radical transparency, you can dramatically alter your trajectory. These lessons aren't just theories, they're practical tools billionaires use daily. So here's my challenge to you. Pick just one billionaire insight from today and test it immediately in your own life. Notice the instant shift in perspective and results. Billionaires don't just learn, they apply relentlessly. Will you? Let me know in the comments below which billionaire book recommendation resonated most with you, and I'll catch you in the next video.